Aloha, good morning. This is Karambi Davis of Karambi Realty International. Trust everyone's had a wonderful week, and I know this weekend we're probably all getting ready for Thanksgiving next week. Anyway, all the very best of luck for you getting things organized. Today, we're going to have a lot of fun, something very different we're going to be talking about. We're going to combine health with real estate. I've been looking at a lot of health podcasts later, getting that energy that we need and clear focus on, helping our clients here right now. And I was watching a video. It's called The Lifestyle Blueprint for Longevity. And it was inspired by Dr. Rhonda Patrick's interview with a wonderful gentleman called Stephen Bartlett, who wrote The Diary of a CEO. And he has a really fabulous podcast that I've been listening to, and a lot of my friends listened to also at the time. And, I thought I'd just touch on some points that are covered in this podcast. And I thought I'd add a little bit of a real estate spin to it also. But please feel free to click on the link and listen to this podcast. And, to start with, you always think of real estate with luxury real estate. We're always selling lifestyle. And it's probably one of your biggest investments. Lifestyle properties aren't cheap. They really do demand top dollar for that whole experience you're having, a home and the lifestyle. But I've been thinking about, health. How should we apply that to lifestyle and about aging and longevity? And what really struck me was, the things that we overlook sometimes or we don't know. And just like a house, smart maintenance with a home, long-term vision, when you buy a home, what you want to do with it over the years, and taking care of what matters most. So this is, from a health standpoint, we should have the same angle of thought on that process. And one of the most powerful points they brought up in the podcast was genetics aren't necessarily run in the family. The small daily things that we do, eat, move, and how much sun we get play a far larger role rather than, the family background. Of course, some of the background can definitely be there also, but it's just, again, let's compare that to a home. Just like a home's location and the foundation are important. What really defines is the value and how you care for it over time. And this is whether it's your home or your body, your health, very important both. She also mentions vitamin D deficiency. Some of us don't realize how much that is so important. We all honestly feel that we get vitamin D living in Hawaii in the sun. Well, it's apparently not enough, and it's being in low risk of vitamin D, they say, is actually as damaging as smoking when it comes to long-term health risks. Please listen to the podcast. This is not my expertise, but, something interesting to listen to on that. And so if you think of a home, keeping the home healthy, it's home's foundation, maybe a small test or a bit more sunlight can make all the difference with yourself and keeping your home very well also. Another takeaway I love was the cardiovascular fitness. So, we always hear you've got to get cardio every, how many times a week or how many minutes a day. Things like brisk walks, hill hikes, swimming, or even short interval trainings. And there's so much studies now on all these elements of what type of exercise. And if you look at the home, all the different systems now we do for homes that are smart homes and lower electricity bills like PVs, new systems for plumbing, et cetera. It's not flashy, but essential to keeping the structure strong for decades. So it's kind of fun to compare to you as a person with your health and keeping the equity of your home at the very most and keeping that home in excellent shape. Two very important things in life. And one of the surprises that, that I think a lot of people have got and is creatine seems to be the new vitamin or powder that people are taking, I think 3 to 5 grams. And we always thought that was for bodybuilders, but it turns out it supports your brain as much as muscles. It helps with focus, memory, and energy, especially as we age. And, if you look at a home, a lot of people put a backup generator there. that keeps the lights on when life gets demanding and the electricity goes off. So again, it's kind of fun to look at the two things that, we put a lot of attention into our home, but sometimes we don't think of our own health. And what I really took from the message is that aging well isn't about a massive long overhaul. It's about doing micro actions that can compound over time. Small habits like better meals, sunlight, strength, work, rest, create a long-term resilience. It's the same philosophy, actually, that I use in real estate and in business: consistency and intentional maintenance, and creates exponential results. Daily, we're always looking for better systems or better way to service our clients. Just like a home, you just always keeping an eye on it. It's probably one of your most expensive commodities, apart from your health. If you don't have your health, you won't have a healthy home. So, whether we're talking about your dream home or your health, remember both appreciate with care, consistency, and attention to the detail that matters. Please listen to the podcast. It'll open up your whole world. There's a lot of other great things out there on YouTube, and it's certainly a start to know about all the new findings out there in the health world. And now we'll move on to, I know a lot of people over the Thanksgiving break will probably jump in their cars and definitely go visit different parts of the island. And I'm going to share my screen. And Marianne was kind enough to share some of the different views of the different coastlines, north, south, east, and west, as she puts it. So this, of course, is the North Shore and the long winding roads and beautiful white sandy beaches along the North Shore. The South Shore, of course, is a great way to end the day with a fuel for the soul, a beautiful sunset on the South Shore. And then going to the East Coast, which is over towards Kailua and Kaneohe, enjoy non-stop scenic moments on your drive up the windward side. And then, of course, on the West Coast, stunning, beautiful Koalina area there on the leeward, gorgeous views also and magical colors. Well, thank you for joining me today. Definitely look at that podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's certainly changed my life over the last 6 months, and I continue to want to know more, which is really fun. Much mahalo, and until we catch up next week.